Hello, we're still at the Spiel 2013 in Essen. I'm with Martin Wallace of Treefrog Games. Hello, Martin.
Hi there. Hello.
You have two very interesting new games. One is A Study in Emerald, the other is The Witches. A Study in Emerald is a Kickstarter game, so how well did the Kickstarter work out for that?
I think, well, Kickstarter's been a mixed bag. It's great getting all of that money in early before you produce. The main issue we've had is now getting the games out because the order fulfillment organisation we have is a little bit more complex than we thought. So it's taking a little bit longer than we thought. So that's been the downside. For the future, I would probably try avoid using Kickstarter. I think I would much rather produce a game, show it to people, and then if they want to buy it, they can buy it, rather than promising something 9 months ahead.
Yes, and what can you tell us about the game? What is it about? How does it play?
Study in Emerald is a mix of Sherlock Holmes, Call of Cthulhu, mixed with a whole bunch of real-life anarchists. The background story is that the old ones, these Cthulhu monsters, have already invaded the Earth and are running the world. But there's a resistance movement, the restorationists, who are fighting against them. So the game is a secret war between the restorationists and the loyalists who want to protect their masters. Which is, so a lot of it is based on actual 19th century revolutionary history. So you have people like Prince Kropotkin, various assassins, real-life assassins in there, as well as literary figures like Sherlock Holmes and Professor Moriarty. It's a hidden identity game, so each player is given a secret identity, so they're either restorationist or a loyalist. The core mechanic is deck building, so you acquire cards that go into your deck. The complexity comes from the fact that depending on which side you're on determines what you score points from. And the really nasty twist is at the end of the game, players reveal which side they're on. The player who is in last place on points, everybody who is on his side is also eliminated. So you have to be very careful when you end the game, because you might be ahead on points, but if somebody on the same side as you is in last place, you will not win the game. So you have to spend a lot of time working out who's on which side.
That certainly sounds very interesting, yes. And your other new game is The Witches, your second game set in the Terry Pratchett's Discworld. What can you tell us about that?
The Witches is the complete opposite of A Study in Emerald. Study in Emerald is amazingly complex and lots of depth and lots of different strategies. The Witches is a family game. It's a very straightforward game where you're a young trainee witch trying to become a more experienced, grown-up witch, and you travel around the board solving problems. So some problems are fairly easy, like dealing with a difficult pregnancy or curing a sick pig. Other problems are harder, such as maybe having to fight off an invasion of elves or dealing with the Wintersmith. But it is more of a light, family-centered game where you just kind of wandering around the board, rolling the dice. Either you solve the problem or you don't. But what it does do is it kind of immerses you in Terry Pratchett's world of Lanka. So you've got all the characters there like Granny Weatherwax and Nanny Ogg and Grebo. So, but I would not describe it as a gamer's game. So you know, if you're looking for something with strategy, you need to look somewhere else.
Yes, it is also available in a collector's edition. What's the difference between the collector's edition and the standard edition? The collector's edition is in a different size box, so you can put it next to your collector's edition of the Ankh-Morpork game. It has 4 handcrafted pewter pieces in it, a larger map and a poster. Okay, and I've heard somewhere that you are doing 3 Discworld games in total. Is that true? And if yes, have you any ideas what the third game will be?
Yes, we're planning to do a trilogy. The third game will be about the whole of Discworld, so players will get to play gods and will be trying to increase the number of followers on the world and I've not actually started designing it yet, so it's a bit difficult to say exactly how it will work. But I know in general that's what it's going to be about, because that's something Terry has already described in his books, how the gods sit around the world rolling dice and moving characters like Rincewind and Cohen the Barbarian around. So the game is already half designed.
Yeah, that sounds really cool, yes. So is there any other games you are working on right now?
We are, well, there's the Field of Glory, I think, which is a 2-player card game set in the ancient world, so Romans, Carthaginian. That's a nice little quick-playing 2-player game. That's available at the moment. I should make it clear that all of these games, Emerald, the Collector's Edition and Field of Glory, are only available direct from Treefrog. They will not be going into shops. So if people want a copy, they're going to have to order direct from us. For the future, for next year, I'm working on a game about the history of New Zealand. But rather than doing it as a straightforward historical game, it's going to have fantasy creatures. So it's a fantasy history. So there's going to be giant moas and kakapos and kias, and there's going to be an invasion of weasels and possums and rats and dogs. So we've already completed the design of that, and we're just starting on the artwork. So that should be hopefully March, April next year.
We're looking forward to that. Yeah. Well, thank you for your time and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.